Hey everyone, welcome back to Screamers, our weekly women's football podcast. I'm Jessie.
I'm Maya.
And I'm Honor.
This week we'll be catching up with two more Screamers derbies, diving into the latest from the WSL and reviewing possibly the most chaotic transfer window we've ever seen.
And we'll be seeing what's new on the Woso Community Noticeboard, plus we'll have our latest Screamers of the week.
Let's get into it.
It's been another game week full of WSL action. Apologies, United fans, is genuinely not deliberate, I promise, but we are once again recording before we've had a chance to watch your match. Lots of games today, including another Screamers derby, but we will start with the goal fest that was Manchester City versus Arsenal, the new Kelly Weerotter Cup, the 7-goal wonder.
What a roller coaster.
A thriller.
It was genuinely so exciting to watch.
It was just like the Manchester derby the other week. Like every time I looked away, someone scored a goal.
Yeah.
Lotta's first start under Renee Slagers.
I know. That was so fun to see. I mean, it does put paid to my plans for Lotta to come to Liverpool. But, if she's going to start again, it felt quite weird to see Steph Catley back at left back.
Yeah.
It's like a blast from the past.
And probably not one that she's going to want to remember either.
No.
I think that's one maybe for Team Australia to pay attention to as well. You did maybe consider moving her to centre-back as well.
What a shocking pen, though.
Oh, my God. Okay, so should we start off by
We may as well,
about
since you brought up Steph Catley.
I'm just glad that, you got to experience the trauma of a penalty being awarded against your team that was outside the box, because we should all have to bear that particular burden.
It was actually really similar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like a similar distance outside the box, over a metre at least.
I think it was slightly closer, but it was still like clearly outside of the box.
I don't know. If the player that's made the tackle is outside the box, you've got to kind of assume that the foul happened outside the box.
It was really weird.
I think that's sort of elementary.
Because also the referee took a minute to think about it and
Yeah.
was like, yep, penalty.
It was almost like she was weighing up what's going to be the most chaotic twist and turn to this match.
But thank God for Stina Blacksinius. Not something I thought I was going to be saying at the beginning of this.
Well, yeah,
game.
should we run through from the start? Because obviously it got off to a really exciting start for Arsenal. Mariana Caldente charging down I felt really bad for Kiara Keating because I don't think it was a bad pass from her. I think Alexandri just has a momentary
fumbled it
switch
a bit.
off.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost like she hadn't switched on yet. It was so soon.
Yeah.
47 seconds in, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if that's the fastest.
It's Arsenal's fastest goal of the season. I'm not sure about
Okay, well, I'm
WSL's.
not surprised that it's their fastest goal of the season.
Yeah, it's been taking us quite a long time to warm up in games recently, so this was actually quite unprecedented.
It's also quite funny because Mariana I love watching her play, but she's not the fastest player on the pitch, so watching her charge down
I don't
ball.
think Man City were expecting us to come out like that at
Well,
all.
it's the same. It's like Arsenal just looked at Man United and were like, oh, we'll do what they did.
Yeah. It does feel like Alexandri's had a bit of I don't know if it's a wobble, but she feels like she's been off her game and not quite as sharp. Makes me wonder how much she's missing Alex Greenwood alongside her.
Exactly, yeah. They are definitely missing her in the back line.
Because it felt like she really wasn't confident today. And then there was a second goal. Arsenal went 2-0 up within 5 minutes. Was it in the first 5 minutes?
Dream start.
And then it looked like it might be a cursed start because then Man City came back into it.
Woke up, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a Mary Fowler roaring back in to bring it to 2-1.
Yeah, Emily Fox just didn't make that header.
I couldn't figure out if it was that Emily Fox didn't make the header or neither Fox or Van Domselaar saw her coming. It kind of felt like they both didn't really realise that Mary Fowler was coming crashing in.
Yeah, or it was a slow reaction.
Yeah.
But it was such a good cross from Fujino. I was really impressed with her today. I think that was
she played really well.
Really good game.
Fujino today really terrorised the Arsenal defence.
Yeah.
I think more than any other player.
And
she was making great runs and really even better crosses. Like that's the dream cross for Fowler. She didn't have to do much. Just a little jump. And
it's one of those you just sort of have to let it hit your head.
Yeah.
In comparison to Lotta, who came charging at her
Oh my
header
God.
with like a full tank of a body weight. The girl is Arsenal through and through, isn't she? I was so happy for her to get the start and to get the goal. Felt very up in the air second half. Felt like it could have gone anyway.
Yeah, it really did.
Stina Blacksinius wasting maybe
Oh my
about
God.
15 different chances.
Honestly,
It was
if
quite
she
painful to
hadn't
watch.
scored,
I think there was a tweet I saw and it said you can give Stina 8 chances, but don't you dare give her that 9th. And I think that really sums up. It's almost gone beyond the joke. Yeah, gone beyond the joke now that you just expect her to fluff so many chances before she gets the goal. And I don't think that's the mark of the killer centre forward that Arsenal
But
need.
she fluffed so many chances.
Yeah, and also the amount of times she strays offside. I think
That
she was
the
born
amount
offside.
of calls. It was the offside calls and then fluffing the finishes. It just was like she can't do anything right
Yeah.
until that goal, which is like, okay, that was the easiest finish ever.
But let's not be too down on Arsenal because we did
No.
win the game.
Yeah.
I saw this stat where it was like games with Alex Greenwood, they won every single one, and then without it was like 1-3 and lost 4, which just shows how vital she is.
It'll be
Unreal.
interesting when she comes back to see what the sort of makeup of the back line is, because obviously you've got Kanak, you've got Alexandri. Will Greenwood go in at left back? Will she come in at centre back? Will somebody move out? I don't really know what that will be, but it feels like it will shore up the quite patchy back line at the minute.
Yeah. But that was a big game at the top of the table.
Yeah.
Arsenal now in second. Thank God.
Yeah, well, we'll see after tonight's result.
Yes.
Man United, they may not stay in second for
Yeah.
long.
Well, we're there for a few hours.
I mean, just cancel the league now and just end it there.
I'll
Just
take
end the
it.
league there.
Stop the count.
But yeah, you're right. So that was a big one at the top of the table. But elsewhere, with the leader of the pack, Chelsea.
Almost an upset. So close to an
So
upset.
close.
Close to an upset. So Chelsea snuck a 1-0 win against Aston Villa. I thought Villa played so well.
They didn't.
I
Wasn't
was
Chelsea
really
didn't even
impressed.
score a goal. It was an own goal.
Yeah.
It was really unfortunate, so I felt very bad for Sarah Mailing. Then,
Yeah.
because
She
it was
must be feeling
just
awful.
like, they held on for so long. They're playing really well. It was a bit frustrating watching them in front of goal because they had some
Yes.
really good chances, and then they kind of looked a bit indecisive. Kind of, yeah.
It was almost like they didn't
finish
expect
them.
that, because I thought they were playing. They weren't just trying to sit back and soak up Chelsea's attack. They were also
Yeah.
attacking themselves. But it
And
felt
then
like
they
they were
were-
kind of surprised that they were getting
Yeah.
through Chelsea's
Well,
defense.
weren't we all though?
Yeah.
We
I
were.
can't blame them.
But is it the Natalia Arroyo effect?
I mean,
Hello.
she won the hoodie under a suit blazer match today. I see Bonpastor bottled it and wore a big puffer jacket. She knew she couldn't face up to that level of drip. Felt so sorry for them. Mailing just sort of went with the wrong foot, I think. It was,
Yeah, she was all closed off.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Although
Very
you have
bad
to say,
positioning.
I mean, Chelsea didn't stop trying to attack, and that the ball across from Mauro Ramirez and the
Yeah.
run from Hermano, it puts a defender in that kind of position. And if you're in a position like that as a centre back or like the last defender, chances are you will, because you've got to do something, and chances are you can put it in the back of your net. Almost had a wonder goal to
Oh
end
my
all the wonder
God.
goals there with Kirsty Hansen.
Yeah, that was a screamer that never was.
An existential screamer, I think. In another universe, in the multiverse of screamers,
Yeah.
that is Screamer
In
of the
another
Week.
universe,
Screamer.
we're in
Yeah.
this studio talking about Kirsty Hansen
Yeah.
being our screamer of the week.
So Hannah Hampton
Damn.
claimed she got some fingertips to it to
It
save it.
It did look like tiny brush of fingertips.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
It's good for her.
She can
But,
go away
you
and
know,
claim that.
yeah.
But yeah, I felt really sorry for Villa because that would have been such a shock upset. I don't think anybody expected them to
Hold them off for that long.
hold them off for that long.
No.
We got a little glimpse of Keira Walsh in her massive Chelsea shirt towards the end of the game.
The knee-length shirt.
The tunic, the Chelsea tunic. But yeah, I mean, not the most exciting of debuts for Keira, but
No, but she looks good.
yeah,
But she's there.
she's there.
Yeah,
We've got-
solid.
I have more on that later. And then moving down to the bottom of the table, so there was a couple of matchups. We had Everton versus Leicester and Brighton versus Crystal Palace. An Everton 4-1 battering of Leicester.
Crazy.
Absolutely incredible result for them. I think that probably keeps them fully out of the relegation battle now. I think that keeps them safe. But it was
Yeah.
such fun football. It's like progressive, and they were attacking, and the passes they were playing. I love watching Tony Payne get to full speed.
I
I
was
think that-
super impressed.
Yeah, and I think that type of football is what Brian Sorensen's always trying to get them to play,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it usually doesn't come off. But when
However,
it does, it's
when
so
it's
good.
Leicester,
Yeah, exactly.
it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
When
Liverpool.
You've got like that extra. I think you'll find that they again only won because of a freak penalty outside the box.
I couldn't resist.
Oh,
Sorry.
right. Listen, I just think you throw these things around, Maya, and soon enough, it's gonna come. It's gonna come calling for you.
No, but it's a really nice style of football that he gets them to
Yeah.
play, and when it works, it is really.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it
it's
is
great.
Leicester, and you maybe get like that extra second on the ball, but it will do wonders for their confidence to try,
Definitely.
like to try it against maybe teams that will put a bit more pressure on them.
No, I thought the 4 goals were really, really well worked.
Yeah, so great win for Everton. Unfortunate loss for Leicester, especially as Palace got such an important point in their draw with Brighton. So it's 1-1 Brighton Crystal Palace, which now puts Palace 3 points behind Leicester. We've got quite a lot of games, but I'm now looking at their matchup. They meet again on the 4th of May, which could be the relegation decider.
Ooh.
between the two of them if results go
that could be
go
massive.
their way. Could really go down to the wire. Again, it was a sort of a really exciting end-to-end match. Sort of a really unfortunate own goal to open it up for Brighton.
That was horrific.
You can't even explain it. There's not really much to say about
we
it.
were saying sun in the eyes, but
Yeah,
that's not a good enough excuse, really.
bring back keepers in caps, I say.
Or like
She needs a
sporty,
visor.
a visor, sporty sunglasses.
What, one of those like green golfy
Or like
Yeah.
wraparound sunglasses or something.
Yeah.
She needed something.
some big ski goggles.
Goggles.
But yeah, then it was Palace were really pushing for the equaliser, and they were helped by the fact that Brighton had a red card. What are our thoughts on the red card situation? I feel like we've all got a slightly different take on it.
My thoughts was I'm not sure it's a straight red, but I'm hindered by the fact that the angle's not great and there's no slow motion replay.
Yeah, and a closer up shot would be really nice to see
exactly.
that.
It just happens so quickly when I watch it on YouTube.
But I just would like to see it up closer
Yeah.
because I do think actually the speed with which she went into that tackle is so quick that it is like, oh, holy shit. And that makes it look really bad.
Watching it back a few times, I was pretty convinced it was a red. It kind of looks like looks like it's quite hard to tell, but that she jumps off her feet and there's no real control in her movement. So she's going fast and there's no real control.
It's
And
reckless.
it looked like studs were like, not up, but it looked like a reckless
Yeah.
challenge more than anything, not like explicitly dangerous. So I think on balance, it was probably a fair red card. And then Palace were just pushing for an equaliser from that moment on, and then it eventually came Mikato again to get that amazing point for Palace.
I've had an absolute howler on fantasy football this week, guys. I don't like the fact that my mum is ahead of me in fantasy WSL.
Your mum is smashing it in our league.
She's been listening to Screamers so much, she's getting the intel.
Well, I made the mistake of captaining Livy Smith, which though we won, Liverpool won 1-0 against West Ham. Livy Smith didn't actually do very much. It wasn't a game filled with delights, I think we can safely say.
No, I was bored to death, I have to say. I switched over to the Chelsea, Chelsea.
I don't think it was
game.
that bad. Like, it wasn't the most exciting game, but I don't think it was that bad. It was such like brilliant centre forward play for the goal. I don't really know how she managed to sneak. It was like the outside back of her heel.
Leanne Kiernan is such a little shit. Like, honestly, she's very good when she just goes around like that. And I love her celebrations. Like,
yeah,
she's the best. She's
and also
hilarious,
she's the kind of person that really leans into a celebration against her former club as well. Like,
exactly. I was like, hello.
She's really up for it.
Well, Leanne Kiernan was also on fire midweek. Sorry, Honor. Because it was a double Screamers derby week.
And it was double Liverpool win.
Yeah. Not the best week for West Ham. I feel like our bubble has been burst.
Yeah, they're out the FA Cup, sadly, thanks to Jessie's beloved Liverpool.
It's fine,
Listen.
we can focus on the league.
We've got a player called Sam Kerr and we beat West Ham 5-0. I'm just saying I think Liverpool are winning the league next season. I'm just putting it out there. That's what I think this means. I didn't get to watch it live because I was playing football at the time, but very exciting result to watch back. I was quite happy to see us really sort of put the game to bed. Like, we're not going to ease off. We're not going to give West Ham a chance to get back into this. Some debut Liverpool goals, including by Lucy Parry, and I love it when clubs post photos of like current players in the kit when they were kids, and it's just such a lovely moment. I had that for
That's
Lucy
really
Parry because she
cute.
scored.
So these were the last of the fourth round games that have been rescheduled in the FA Cup, meaning that Brighton, Arsenal, Everton and Liverpool are going through to the fifth round, which takes place this weekend. Which matches are we most looking forward to?
I'm quite intrigued to see Newcastle taking on Palace because that kind of gives us a bit of an idea about the lower part of the WSL versus the top-ish of the Championship. I just kind of want to see what that gap looks like in a game.
Feels like Newcastle have risen so fast that it's quite good to have those like points of being able to gauge them against
exactly.
WSL teams.
I also think after their performance this weekend, Aston Villa Brighton might be quite a good matchup too.
Yeah, that should be really exciting.
I feel like that has the potential to be a classic.
Yeah.
Could be loads of goals.
In terms of matches that I'm excited for, it's Wolves versus Man United. Like, it's going to be tough for Wolves, obviously. They play in the Northern Premier Division's Tier 3.
Yeah.
But my dad's from Wolverhampton. He's a huge Wolves fan. So not only would it be a huge cup upset, but like a cup upset that's a family affair. Yes, please. Absolutely. I would love to put Man U to bed.
That would be great.
But,
that'd be a great story.
To bloody the nose of the current holders. I would love Liverpool to make the final. I don't know how feasible that is, but I feel like I'm disappointed with our league position this year.
That would be great for Liverpool.
That'd be a huge thing. I think Matt Beard has said that it really wants it to be a focus for the next few months. Yeah, what about you guys? Who do you think is going to make the final? Or who do you want to see in the final?
I, of course, would like to see Arsenal in the final.
Listen, London City Lionesses might have something to say about that.
Well, yeah, very true.
Michelle Kang's
that's
OAPs.
my other one I'm looking forward to.
I
That'll be a
think-
good matchup.
If not Arsenal or Chelsea in the final, I would love to have a new winner. Like it was
Yeah.
cool last year that Man United got to the final. It was Man U Spurs, wasn't it?
Man U Spurs.
Yeah, for the first time there was a team that hadn't won the FA Cup in the final.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a real shame that the final's going to be on the same day as some of the men's Premier League matches again. That was the same as last year. Do you remember when Jim Ratcliffe just didn't come
yeah,
to
he didn't
see?
turn up.
He didn't turn up to see the women's team win a trophy. He went to watch the men's team lose to Arsenal instead.
Absolutely crazy.
Shocking.
Do you think we'll ever do an episode where we don't talk about how awful Jim Ratcliffe is?
No.
Yeah, it's a recurring theme.
We're going to make a bingo for streamers, and that'll be the centre square will be Jim Ratcliffe is awful.
It's time for the latest Screamers of the week. Every week, the three of us will pick our favourite Screamers from across the women's game in the last 7 days. And then you guys get to vote for the ultimate Screamer of the week on Spotify and on Instagram.
Oh, did you feel hard done to that yours was stolen? Your choice was stolen last week by Maya, and then she won.
Yeah, I do actually, but I had to let her have something.
I mean, it's quite handy when you've got a wag with 75 different Instagram accounts who can
Exactly.
I don't tell her what to vote for.
It was
you
rigged.
don't know what to vote
I
for.
didn't actually know that
Rigged.
she had voted for mine until Anna said it
Twice.
on the WhatsApp group. I didn't know
Well,
because
I-
I don't tell her who to vote for.
I, being without a wag,
Oh, boo-hoo.
My
No,
wag
I'm
voted
just
for
saying.
Maya's choice, so...
I'm saying not having a
Wags
wag.
love
My
me.
mum said, "Should I vote for yours or for who I really think?" And I said, "Oh no, vote for who you really think. It's fine."
Who
And
you
then-
really
who did
think
she
is
vote
so,
for?
Yeah.
so
Well, I think
gutting.
actually she abstained in the end, which is just as useless.
But yeah, Maya did sneak the win
Yeah.
by 1 vote, so Maya gets to go first.
My Screamer of the Week is from the midweek FA Cup game,
Mm-hmm.
Bristol City, Arsenal.
Yeah, thought it
Arsenal,
might be.
Bristol City.
Oh yeah, surprise, surprise.
She's going in for the Arsenal voting block again.
It was Beth Mead's goal that looked like it was going to be a cross.
The goal that she admitted was maybe not
cross,
intentionally a goal, yeah.
I love how everyone's always like, "Oh, like, did she mean it? Did she not?" And she's
Yeah.
like, "Didn't
No.
mean it."
Absolutely didn't mean it. Didn't even try and claim it.
But it was a great goal.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah,
fair.
lovely goal.
Just looped into the top left corner
Yeah.
over Jackie Burns.
Yeah. Did you see that TikTok from the Bristol players? It was like the vibes before
Yeah.
playing Arsenal and the vibes after playing
Quite
Arsenal.
sad, actually.
Yeah, it's really
Oh.
sad.
It
for
was
them.
quite sad. But great goal. I loved it.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Vintage Beth Mead.
I know Beth Mead's firing again.
Yeah. Okay, I've got 2 options.
Oh, okay.
One in the WSL
Yep.
and one outside of the WSL.
Oh, I wonder if we've picked the same goal outside the WS. Outside.
I
of
have a
the-
feeling we might.
We might have done.
I'm going to choose Hayashi's goal for Everton against Leicester.
I think we picked the
Today.
same too. So that's
The
brilliant.
same too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. So this goal is from a short corner. Her shot finds its way into the goal through a sea of defenders
I do not understand it.
into the bottom right corner. It's like the goal is a magnet.
I haven't seen it. I need to watch it.
It's
It's brilliant.
incredible.
Yeah. And then my other one, maybe it's Jessie's.
What
It's
should
from
I
a
say?
little bit of an upset.
Oh yeah, we absolutely
in
picked the
Spain
same one.
this weekend.
Mine is absolutely from that game. So yeah, a huge upset. This is what happens when you sell Keira Walsh, guys. You lose your first game after selling her. So Barcelona lost 2-1 to Levante. It's the first home league game they have lost in 6 years.
The first home game they've lost in all competitions in 84 games.
Yeah. And the first, I think, league game they've lost in 18 months. It's like
Crazy.
I'm actually loving it.
insane.
Yeah, since last February.
Yeah, absolutely insane. But that is the Keira Walsh effect, I guess. But yeah, they love a giant killing. So this was the one. I think I would have come down on this one rather than Hayashi. So
Yeah. Well, now I'm nervous. Now I'm stressed.
oh no, so mine is Maria Alharia's goal.
Big up.
Absolute. So the cross is a crossfield switch that just takes out like the entire Barcelona defense. They are all like completely wrong-footed, and Maria picks it up, buys herself a little bit of space in the box, and then lashes it past Ellie Roebuck. it hits one post and then goes across the goal mouth and hits the other post and then goes in, which is
so satisfying.
This was such a screamer. You're
it was
right.
absolutely fantastic.
I sort of forgot about it.
I love that noise.
Poor Ellie Roebuck. What a goal that was. So those are our 3 screamers. So from Maya, we had
Beth Mead versus Bristol City.
from Anna, we had
Hayashi versus Leicester.
and mine is Maria Alharia for Levante against Barcelona. We will put the clips up for those who haven't seen them on our Instagram, so you can check them out and then vote. Suki, you are only allowed to vote once. Everyone else, you can vote and let us know what you think is the screamer of the week this week. Who knew after we talked about Chloe Kelly in episode 2 that we would be back talking about her again so soon? So the women's transfer window closed on Thursday evening and it was
Chaotic.
Madness.
just absolutely,
Loved
truly chaotic. Loved it so much. There was so many signings, but there was also so many rumours and so many things floating around the internet. You didn't know what to believe. But let's start with Chloe Kelly. Finally, a resolution to the whole situation has been. The prodigal daughter has returned to Arsenal. Her situation at City had been the talk of the transfer window, but also the whole season. We talked about it. Journalists were talking about it. Everybody was talking about it. But then it really hit another level on transfer window eve on the Wednesday night when she released a statement on her Instagram.
So it was a 3-page long notes up Instagram statement, basically just along the lines of the club is not letting me move, I'm unhappy, I'm not being played. Yeah, it's pretty cutting. She said, with the Euros fast approaching, this summer is a huge one and I want to be in a position to give it my best shot to represent my country. Which, you know, that's what we've been saying.
Yeah.
This girl, you know,
Let her cook.
Let her cook. However, to be dictated whom I can and can't join with only 4 months left of the football season is having a huge impact on not only my career, but my mental well-being. The situation has dragged on for too long. It's disappointing and not right. And more of that. It was all along these lines. Really kind of strong words. She's tried everything else, gone down all these routes and nothing's working. So she's been forced to go public with it.
It felt pretty seismic seeing that post. Like,
yeah,
it felt,
we've never
seen
anything
that in the
like
women's
that.
game,
No.
I don't think.
it felt really like that taking ownership of the narrative, because she said about like there's been people floating around the speculation, and she alleged later that people have been briefing stuff against her.
Yeah, she said in a statement the day afterwards, you know, she accused the club of character assassination, saying that they've been briefing journalists against her, which don't really know what that's referring to, but it might be kind of referring to the fact that it was reported that she'd turned down, even though she was desperate to move, she turned down Brighton.
Yeah.
And then everyone was going, oh God, like she thinks she's too good for Brighton, but she wants to go to Man United, like our nearest rival, blah, blah, blah. Like if you want to play, why can't you go to Brighton? Fran Kirby plays for Brighton and she plays for England.
It was a strange situation. So yeah, it was like, was she going to go to Brighton? Was she going to go to Man United? Was she going to stay at City and just sort of waste the season? But then news broke.
Late in the game.
I think it was 7:30, 8 o'clock in the night. It was like, oh my God, she's going to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, were you shocked that Arsenal were going to make a signing?
It's very out of character for them for this window. I was so excited, although the news dropped, but it wasn't confirmed. So I was like, I was stressing that Man U were going to snatch her from our hands.
I was stressed that she was going to end up just stuck at City.
Yeah,
I was really worried that it wasn't going to come off, because it was so
that
close.
would have been dreadful after like, her statement and all of the drama.
Yeah. I mean, there would have been
to stay. Would have been
no
she
chance
wouldn't have
of
been
her
at the
playing.
Euros. Yeah,
she wouldn't be at the Euros. She wouldn't have played again for City. It would have been such an untenable situation.
Thank God we could offer her a home in North London.
Well, a return to her home, some could say.
I know. Welcome home, Chloe.
Yeah, it went to the wire. I think it was only sort of confirmed that it was a
It was
done
like
deal.
10 or 11, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was
late.
really late.
It was like confirmed as long as the paperwork gets done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Chloe Kelly has returned. A big deal was made out of it on social, understandably. My favourite was the Katie McCabe, Chloe Kelly.
I loved it.
For those who haven't seen it, in a match, I think was it last season?
It
or
was
the
on my
season before?
birthday.
A couple of
It was on
seasons ago.
April the 2nd.
Well, there you go. We know. And what time in the afternoon was it?
Just before I had my birthday roast.
Oh, okay. Well, so that puts it mid-afternoon, everybody. So Katie McCabe goes to take a throw in and just inexplicably donks it off
It's
Chloe Kelly's head. And everyone was saying when the signing got confirmed, God, I hope they reference it. Will they be brave enough to reference it? And then Arsenal just dropped a video of Katie coming up behind Chloe Kelly, about to smash her on the head with a ball. And then, oh, no, we're friends
And then
now.
hands her the ball instead.
Oh,
so
God.
good.
The content has been top
so
tier.
funny, also considering it's alone.
It has been
Like,
funny.
it has
I
been
know,
so
it's really
OTT.
strange. And I think I'm really impressed with Chloe Kelly because it did seem like she wanted to go to Man United.
Mm.
And I don't know if she didn't want to go to Arsenal, but I'm sure she's happy that it's Arsenal rather than Brighton.
Mm.
But now she's like, return
Yeah,
to
she's
North
all in.
London.
Yeah.
You can
She's
take
all
the
in.
girl out of London back to my roots. It's like she never wanted to go anywhere other than
Yeah.
Arsenal. Like, she's so good at selling that, and the fans, I'm sure, love it.
We do.
I did think Gareth Taylor was a bit harsh, a bit rude about her.
Yeah.
In his
the
interview about her,
presser,
yeah. Me
Felt
too.
a bit snide. The comments about that he's excited to work with players who are actually committed to the club. It
Yeah.
felt
Pointed, really
very
pointed,
pointed.
unnecessarily so.
yeah, because no one will be able to know what has happened. So
It's not fair.
it's not really fair that you're painting a picture of this person, especially with her allegations about people briefing journalists and suggesting things about her character. I'm really excited to see Beth and Chloe fight it out. I think that is going to
Yeah.
be, it's going to drive them both to new levels, I think, in the game. I think Beth always plays better when she's got something to prove.
100%.
And now she's got somebody who is desperate to get back in form, desperate to book her place on the plane to Switzerland. So it's going to be really interesting to see what kicks
Yeah.
off.
It's a great loan for us for sure.
Speaking of big moves for Lionesses ahead of the Euros, despite your insistence, Maya, that she was coming to Arsenal,
My source is clapped.
your source needs to be blocked, I think, on every platform.
No, you don't want to block that one.
Yes, we touched on it earlier. Keira Walsh, in a move that shocked, surprised, horrified many,
Horrified.
has joined Chelsea from Barcelona. We knew that there was going to be a move on the cards for Keira. I think many of us expected it to be in the summer because her contract was expiring.
Yeah.
Everybody sort of knew she wanted to come back to the WSL. And then Chelsea thought, you know what, we've just bashed out a world record transfer. Should we just drop an insane amount of money on Keira Walsh? Why not? Why
Yeah,
not?
why not? I feel like it's a bit of a statement, isn't it?
How many more statements do they need to make?
If Chelsea don't win the Champions League now, honestly,
Yeah,
they're
that
coming
would
out
be-
all guns blazing for the Champions League.
They are, yeah, really, really going for it, and also doing it in a way. I am so surprised that Barcelona agree. I guess the money was just. I don't know how they managed to finesse that level of transfer fee for somebody with 6 months left of her
Mm.
contract.
But I don't think it was as much as it was initially reported.
No, I think it was more like 400,000.
Yeah.
I think.
400k. Yeah.
But considering that's what she
so
was
they've
sold for,
recouped
yeah,
what they paid for her.
they've
So
broken even.
Yeah, do you guys think it's a good deal or not that they've got their money back with 4 months left of the season or however many months left?
I think it's a great
that
deal
she
for
was about-
Barcelona.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's
think
good.
it's
But like
bizarre choice
but
for Chelsea.
A great deal, but
To
could
their
it come back
direct
to
rivals as
Yeah.
well.
bite them in the arse in the Champions League?
Yeah,
And even now, today or this
To be honest,
weekend.
I think it's a great deal for Chelsea, to be completely honest,
Yeah.
because it's not loads and loads and loads of money. And if they win the Champions League,
it would have been worth it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also it stops other teams from getting her in the summer on the free, like
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Yeah,
I think a lot of
You
teams
know?
were sort of waiting to see
exactly.
for that battle in the summer,
Yeah.
and Chelsea have snuck in. It
Yeah.
is a great bit of business, and it is really exciting to see Keira Walsh back in the WSL.
Yeah, I love it.
It's great to see her back in WSL. I think it's a bit of a shame generally in the transfer window
Mm.
that Chelsea seem to have just widened their lead with who they've signed. I think
Yeah.
that's a bit of a shame. But yeah, like you said, they're doing great bits of business. So
Yeah, it just
for them.
it was,
good for them.
Good for she's not bitter, everybody. In contrast though to like Chloe Kelly's really vibey, personality driven
Oh my
announcement
God,
videos,
the
it was
Chelsea videos, they're so
it was not the most exciting of announcement content, I would say.
No.
But I'm sure Keira Walsh will cook and make that, already quite terrifying, threatening team even
Totally.
more
I mean,
terrifying.
like you said, Barcelona have already now just lost their first game in 84 games. So,
Yeah.
it's obviously working.
It seems to be quite a destabilised camp because the player who is sort of at fault feels quite rude. But for the second goal that Barcelona conceded was Ingrid Engen,
Who also wants to leave.
who also wants to
Yeah.
leave
Yeah.
She
and
was
almost
linked
got
to
her last minute
Lyon.
move.
Yeah.
So
but is now staying, right?
now
Yeah.
stayed. I think.
Well, I think the fact that Walsh has gone
Yeah.
helps open up a bit more of a space in the team for Engen as well,
Mm.
because she can play at DM too.
But I think it was a similar thing of Barcelona were turning down the offers from Lyon
Mm.
because they didn't match what they wanted, which again is just
Mm.
insane for somebody with such a short time left on their
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah, and she's really not getting loads of minutes, so
Mm.
it seems.
Don't know. So she didn't get her transfer, but there were a fair few exciting transfers in the last dying days of the transfer window. It was very much a case of double-decker buses for Arsenal because didn't sign anybody all season, and then feel slightly sorry for Jenna Nice-Wonga.
I know.
She's been somewhat upstaged
She
by the
has-
Chloe Kelly
she
debacle,
has been
hasn't
a little
she?
bit eclipsed, hasn't she? Yeah.
But Arsenal signed American left-back Jenna Nice-Wonga from the NWSL. Feels quite exciting. Feels like a signing for the future.
Yeah, she won Rookie of the Year in 2023, was it?
Really?
Yeah. She's done a really nice interview about how she's really excited to learn from Katie McCabe. And yeah,
Yeah.
she definitely feels like we're future-proofing the team almost with her. Yeah, I think it's a really good signing.
Really exciting. It feels like it's a sign that Steph Catley to centre back is locked in now for the future. Like that's it.
Yeah, which I think has been working really well.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think it's been a really good transition. It'd be interesting to see what it does for Katie. If it immediately sort of frees her up to return to that more attacking role that she used to have.
Yeah,
Be quite fun to see.
which I think I prefer her in, actually.
Yeah, I think go off and make
Exactly.
nonsense up the pitch,
Yeah.
and then let a specialist defender have to do the defending.
Exactly.
I think it makes it easier, and it's exciting to have the prospect of Nice-Wonga and Fox on opposite wings.
Mm-hmm.
The Americans are coming to Arsenal. And there was also, speaking of Americans, Crystal Dunn moved.
So they've both moved from Gotham, haven't they? They're both part of the
Yeah.
Gotham
Gotham are
Exodus.
having, I don't know what's going on at Gotham.
Yeah, there's something like 6 or 7 players seem to have left Gotham. There's, again, something going on behind the scenes there. But yeah, Crystal Dunn left Gotham to sign for PSG. Quite exciting for the league.
Yeah, it's interesting. Kind of seems like she was pushed out of Gotham a bit and she didn't know what she was doing. So it's good to get this move. But a bit crazy with like a family to
Yeah.
be hopping over to Paris.
But it's always fun to see something like a really celebrated American player coming over to
and
to
she
play in
is.
Europe.
Big
So
name.
big name there.
So what's been your favourite signing of the window?
Mine has been setting aside the Liverpool loan signings. I think we've done really smart, tactically sound loan signings with Sam Kerr, Julia Bartel, and Alejandra Bernabé.
Yeah.
It's probably Carolyn to City.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
I
that's massive.
love like a really exciting Brazilian forward coming to play. I just feel like it's gonna make that attack. If Gareth Taylor can find a way without alienating anybody else to make Carolyn,
fit them
Jill
in.
Roord, Viv Miedemar, Bunny Shaw, Lauren Hemp when she comes back, Lily Murphy. I mean, it's terrifying just listing out those numbers,
It
but
really
is
that could be
crazy.
so exciting to watch.
Yeah.
So probably Carolyn is my pick for most exciting signing.
Nice.
What about you guys?
That's a great choice.
I think mine probably is Naomi Girma, even though I'm just absolutely devastated that she's gone to Chelsea. Like I said at the beginning of the transfer window, that is a player that I really wanted to see in the WSL.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited to watch her play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love when successful players from other leagues come to the WSL and then
Yeah.
you can kind of compare a bit as well, being like, how do they hold up here? For West Ham, I think, we've bolstered our defence a bit, and I think Verena Hanshaw has looked really good in the couple of games. I mean, let's not talk about the thrashing, but I think she's going to be good.
I wasn't going to bring it up. Listen, I don't.
Yes, moving on.
I almost wore a Liverpool shirt today, guys, and I thought that would be quite mean.
It's okay. It's
You
okay.
said you were going to come in full Liverpool kit.
I know, but two wins in a
Yeah,
week felt
just
like
a bit brutal. For
rubbing
Honor.
it in. I'll just
Yeah.
hit her with it as a surprise. It's fine.
Yeah, otherwise, I'm with Maya, with Naomi
Mhm.
Girma, and I just think Chelsea's 2 mega signings. It's just, it's crazy.
Yeah.
No one does extravagance like them.
No.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's
It's
iconic.
yeah,
And it's crazy. And it's like, we're doing this. What are you guys going to do?
yeah.
Big
Come on, raise your
statements.
levels. Come
Yeah.
on, match
And
us.
let's see.
Yeah.
Will
Exactly.
anyone raise their level?
I mean,
TBC.
no one has yet in terms of their spending. It's never like extravagances unfounded, is it, at Chelsea? Like they're always positions like
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
did need a new centre back to sort of build a team around.
So
Yeah.
why not get the
And
best in the
wanna get the
world?
best in the world.
Exactly. Same with defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
Sonia's been saying, "Oh, I want a really solid DM." Now she's got one.
Now she's got the best
One
in
of
the
the
world.
best, yeah.
So, I mean, we critique because we're jealous.
Yeah,
quite frankly.
exactly.
Yeah.
So before we go, who's got something to add to the Woso Community Noticeboard this week?
My first one to put on the notice board is, speaking of Keira Walsh, Stacey from our football team. when news broke, when the news broke that Keira was potentially going to Chelsea, Stacey DM'd Keira Walsh on Instagram saying,
As you do.
"Babe, don't go to Chelsea." They did chicken out of following it up with a message to Leah saying, babe, sort your mate out. But surprisingly, it didn't work, which I think we are all shocked by.
I was shocked. I thought that was that.
Yeah.
I was
done
like, oh,
deal.
great.
Yeah.
Kira's not going to Chelsea then.
Yeah, Stacey has spoken and it's not happening.
I haven't got big news, but I've been really enjoying some tweets from Chelsea fans. Kind of clapping back at everyone else, taking the piss out of them. Harry Edwards said, "Thanks to Arsenal fans for single-handedly filling Stamford Bridge to help us fund this transfer window."
I'd love to see more shithousery in the game. Like, it is genuinely delightful.
On the same vein, CFC Kelly 23 said, "And we still had money to spare for Emily Heaslip. Wow, he'll never be us."
You know what? Fair fucks, Chelsea. That is some good banter. Speaking of not necessarily good banter, but did you see the Bristol City signing video for Malaika Mina?
Oh, the traitors.
Traitors.
I did see it, yeah.
It was absolutely hilarious.
Maya's got no.
Maya's got no. Oh, okay. Well, we'll praise it first and then the professional.
I loved the idea.
Yes.
I just didn't love the execution.
You didn't like the random voice that was definitely
No,
just
I loved
Siri.
that. I did actually. It was just a bit too long for me. I was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, the gag
Also,
was
I'd
there.
seen it from men's team like a week before, done
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
So I was a bit like, oh.
It is quite
Okay,
funny.
I'll repost it to our Instagram stories so
Yeah.
everyone can tell us what they think.
Yeah. What are you putting on the notice board this week, Maya?
Mine is Ella Toon's piece in the Players Tribune, which she wrote about grief and the loss of her father and kind of being a footballer within that, which Jessie posted in the group chat, and it was incredibly moving.
After crying over my coffee reading it.
Yeah. Only read it if you're ready. If you're in a
Yeah.
place which is okay for you to sit and sob.
Yeah.
But it's really beautifully written and really like amazingly articulated.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's the first time she's spoken publicly, I think, about her experience with her dad and his illness and the bereavement. So it was so beautifully written.
And I think also the way she talked about the support of her teammates and how they've all been since, and like that was really moving too, because obviously we shit on Man U a lot, and maybe at a higher level in the club they have some issues, but obviously like as a team they're super close and really supportive, and that was really nice to read about as well.
Yeah, it was really lovely. My last one just before we go is sort of tied to the fact there's been an ACL injury for Everton this week. Their third of the season, and it's such a thing that we talk about so much with the women's game, of the sort of scourge of ACLs, and they're so difficult for professional athletes to deal with. It can, wipe your whole season out. The rehab process is so long, but at grassroots level it's even harder. And big shout out to our friend Poppy, who just had ACL surgery and is going through the process now, and we are just massively rooting for you, and you're smashing it, and we are all in your corner, Pops.
Proud of you, Pops.
Very proud of you, Pops. That is all we've got time for on Screamers this week, but we will be back next Tuesday to see who has made it through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, preview the North London derby, and react to the Champions League draw. But until then,
you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and everything else at screamers_pod, or you can email us at screamerspod@gmail.com. because we want to hear your notice board updates.
Please send us some.
And follow Screamers for free on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts to always be the first to know when new episodes drop. And if you like the episode, please rate and review to help others find us. Thank you.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.